morning. I hope you guys are well rested and have a fantastic weekend ahead of you. So looking at our KDNA numbers, I'm not going to use this headphone because you hear such a terrible echo, but so looking at KDNA, it looks like Angela Grassini is in our lead this week. Angela had a closing last week and a listing last week. So good job with your consistency, Angela. The outbound, she had 1,041 outbound marketing pieces. So she's been pretty consistent with her direct mail. But Angela also let us know what other efforts you're doing to generate your marketing. So you're just listed, just sold. I know you've been participating in the loan officer prospecting training, and that's been very consistent with you. The loan officer prospecting. I think, guys, we've got bad technical problems today. This screen keeps coming in and out, and I hear a terrible echo. So I don't know if you hear me or not. But so kudos to you on working, establishing those relationships with your loan officers. I think Angela's working with a Wells Fargo loan officer that sends her pre-approved buyers. So keep in mind, if you don't have buyers for your I have a buyer flyer or for your marketing in the area, then be sure to develop relationships with those loan officers that are in your geo farm, and make it a point to always have 3 to 5 A buyers that are at any given time approved, ready, willing, and able to purchase, and then market those buyers to your Facebook groups that are in the area. So most school districts have a Facebook group. I would encourage you to be a member of that Facebook group in the school district. I think Sarah and Jill are real active online in their Facebook groups in their school districts, and they have a lot of experience there. So think about what different Facebook groups, or how do I get involved in my community, in my geo farm, throughout my Jeez. Okay, I see the screen coming in and out, guys. I don't know what's going on here. I apologize, but I don't think you're able to hear me because this call is going in and out. So we'll probably just postpone this. I don't want to waste your time. But to go through our wins, it looks like Jill picked up a buyer talking to a salesperson at Nebraska Furniture Mart. So other salespeople will be some of your best referral partners. So keep that in mind, all salespeople in your geographic area. Rupal, she got her $500 buyer out of option period, and she's on track to close. Barbara Chafin picked up a $300,000 to $400,000 relocation buyer that's moving, and the buyer called her from her picture on the Waller Group website. Great job, Barbara. Nina, 2 new buyers, and she's negotiating offers for both. Sarah Jones, new listing hitting the market on Friday from her sphere of influence. Great job, Sarah. Corey, new listing and buy from his sphere of influence. Great job, Corey. Venus made a presentation at Baylor School of Dentistry. Great job, Venus. Excellent. 6 to 7 rentals with potential to eventually convert to buyers, and picked up a new buyer, has a short sale that will be buying in August. So as far as your buyer so as far as your buyer presentation tips, another thing I want to just speak about briefly today, and that is something we talked about in last week's sales meeting, and that's how do you structure your offers to where they're going to get accepted. So make sure that you go through your emails and you look at that tip sheet that I have as far as that I sent out as far as getting your offers accepted, and the things that you need to include to increase your probability. Even if you do all those things to increase your probability, the communication you have with that listing agent is going to trump anything else that's in that offer, because if they feel like that you'll make revisions, or that when they counter that you'll accept those counters, then they'll still work or respond to your offer versus others. So keep that in mind when you're working. The key to that is setting the proper buyer expectations. So guys and gals, make sure that, and I've said this many times in our buyer counseling training, that if you set the expectation with that buyer once they've found a house, then many times it's too late, because they feel like you may be strong with them, and it is. I'm sorry, guys, I was so distracted. I see the screen moving 2 different places constantly, so it's hard hard to focus. But make sure that the expectation that you set with that buyer is set in the counseling session, and that you're supporting and documenting all of your expectations with numbers, and being sure to give your experience and experience other buyers have had, not just tell them, but show them. So showing is selling, telling is not. I can't remember the saying that goes with that, but make sure that you're showing them support and documentation as to why you feel a certain way or why they need to structure their offers. So the case study we had last week with Saran was a very powerful case study in her market in Allen. The average home is selling for 103% over list price. So that's just the average. So if they're looking at a house that just hit the market, then many times those are the premium properties. Those are the ones that are above average. So if it's above average, they probably need to make a bid. It's not just the average at a 3% over list price, maybe 5% over list price to get their offer to be even considered for acceptance, or even be considered to receive a counteroffer. So work with Richard, work with myself, call me, and let's work through these processes when you're submitting an offer. We were able to help her last week, and I'd like to make sure you guys are getting about 80% of your offers accepted. If you're not getting close to 80% of your offers accepted, then there's a problem with your negotiating skills. And that goes back to setting the buyer's expectations and how you do that. So make sure you know your numbers. Are you getting 80% of your offers accepted? Okay, with that being said, it looks like Barbara also was strong with her KDNA last week. Good job, Barbara. She was at gold in a lot of areas. And then Jill Bell, also strong with her KDNA, made 60 contacts last week. Good job, Jill. This is still a great season for your for sale by owner open house program and for sale by owner prospecting. We're basically, here we are at the end of June. This is the peak selling month of the entire year. So take advantage of the market. The weather is great. It's not too hot yet. The temperature actually affects sales too. In August, it's so hot that people slow down. They're just not as active out looking at houses. So make sure you take advantage of this last week of June and July market, and set their expectations for the very, very heavy competition in the marketplace for these buyers. So show them an example of buyers that are getting their offers accepted. What are they having to do? 105%, 107% over list price, and then be sure to break down and show them the band of pricing. So if it's a $5 million home, then naturally it's not as competitive as a $150,000 to $250,000 home. The homes that you guys are selling in those lower price points are the most competitive homes in the marketplace right now. And why is that? It's because that's less than replacement value. New builders and new construction, they can't build these houses less than about $300,000. So it dries up the price of all these homes that are under $300,000 because they're selling at less than replacement value. So make sure your buyers understand that when you go in on the counseling session, to explain to them why this price point's moving so fast. And if they feel like the market's overheated or that it's at a peak and it's coming down, be sure to inform them that's not the case. And it's because these homes are selling at less than replacement value. So make sure they understand the cost of the land, and especially in an older inventory, older stock, housing stock, whether it's in East Plano, West Plano, whether it's in Sachse, Wiley, the areas to where there's not just a lot of land for new construction, then those lots are worth more than lots that are in some of these outer lying areas that they have new construction. So make sure your buyer understands that. And that also drives more competition. Okay, with that being said, we'll keep today short and sweet. You guys have a profitable and productive week. Finish strong in the last week of June and be ready for a fun 4th of July. We have a potluck Wednesday lunch not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. So I'd love to see you at that. Feel free to bring friends or anyone you'd like to join us in that casual lunch here at the office, and Erica will send out details. And then any other for your seller, make sure, I see a lot of agents that are not using the conversion seller training or the conversion seller instant valuation page. You guys all have that for free. So use that, promote that on Facebook, put that Facebook ads in your geographic farms in your areas so those instant valuations show up in your geographic farm news feeds, and those homeowners see, they won't be able to get away from you. You want them to see you in their Facebook news feeds. You have to buy those ads. It's like $50 a month. It's super cheap. So it's some of the cheapest branding and the cheapest advertising we can do to get instant valuations. Now, I would put that on Facebook, and then also intermittently publish some of the buyer needs that you have. So, my buyer's pre-approved, they're looking for this in certain geographic areas. So basically I have a buyer marketing, throw that on Facebook, put that on there. So that way, be sure you have an image with all of your Facebook news feeds, but it's just matching a buyer with a seller, guys. And if you focus on that, and if you focus on how to use technology and your Facebook groups to bridge those gaps and to bring those buyers and sellers together, you'll be able to meet and exceed your goals. So focus on your KDNA metrics, focus on your geographic farm, matching your buyers and sellers, and the profit will follow. And of course, good service. We have buyer templates that Erica's adding on Back Agent this week that are sample templates to follow for your buyers throughout the transaction. And I would encourage you to review those. You don't need to follow those verbatim, word by word. Some of it could be kind of cheesy. Some of it is not appropriate for a second-time buyer versus a first-time buyer. They're really geared towards first-time buyers. But if you follow those templates, or just use them as a template, as a guideline for you, then it will improve the customer service to your clients and make your jobs easier. So Erica will have those probably by the end of the week. And you guys have a profitable and productive week. Thank you.